Right, welcome back to another on-base baseball video. My name is Brian Hafferkamp, and I'm going to show you a game without the pitchers. So you can actually play on-base baseball without the pitchers. I'm also introducing a couple of new sort of modifiers into the charts as well. So we're going to play the Braves at the Astros again. So this is sort of the second game. This time we're using a real game. So I have the score sheet printed out here from digitaldugout.com, and this game is from May 15th, 1998, and you'll notice Jeff Bagwell is not in the game, and these aren't the most optimized lineups for their best players, but this is an actual game played May 15th, 1998. It's going to be Jose Lima, so a little bit of Lima time. If you're from Texas, you probably remember that. He used to do these commercials for some restaurant. I can't remember, but it was Lima time. He was always around dancing. And Denny Nagel is going to be going for the Braves, so young left-hander Denny Nagel. And I'm going to show you in this game how to play just with the batters. So you don't have to play with the pitchers as part of the game. It's fine to just roll once and then just go off of the batter chart. So I just want to show you how you can do that if you don't have any interest in doing both, or you want to cut down the time maybe on the game. So hopefully you can see everything here. We have Lima over here. I'm going to put him there only for his stamina. I could probably just remove him because we're not using his fib for anything. Now the Braves here, they're going to be up first. And I have the Astros sort of waiting in the wings over here with Denny Nagel. This is the on-base dice roller. So it's super simple. It gives you the two D6 dice plus the D9, so you don't ever have to worry about the D9. And I'll put the link to the on-base dice roller in the description, and you can see that. So this is going to be May 15th, 1998. This is the Braves at the Astros. And leading off is going to be Guillen, Keith Lockhart, and Chipper Jones for the Braves. So let's just get into it. I'll explain some of the new additions, modifiers to the chart as we go through them. In fact, let's try to, and we can get this a little closer. You're able to see everything. Hopefully that'll be okay like that. And so, sorry for the lighting. It's not the best in here, but we do our best. I think it's this screen here that's really messing things up. So we got our dice roller. Essentially, what you do is you just roll the dice. You check against the appropriate column. We're looking at the batting runs here. So you can see these are the new cards that I'm laying out. Very similar to the ones before. So you have all your stats over here to sort of make your managerial type decisions. And then you have your batting runs, defense, and speed, which all play different parts in the game. Batting runs are green. Defense is orange and speed is blue. I thought maybe that would help to sort of identify those things a little bit easier, and you can see that they're going to be always off to the side. Same with the pitchers. Here's a pitcher card, so your sort of values for playing the game are on the right. Your stats for making decisions are on the left. Starting pitchers are still going to be red, and we have how he throws and sort of some identifiers for the team and name. So let's start off top of the first inning. Ozzie Guillen is up. That's going to be a 4-5 to Guillen. Guillen is a minus 5.4, so that puts him in this last column over here. And a 4-5 is going to be a fly out. That's a fly out to the right field line. So we're just going to call that F9 on the putout. And Guillen is down in the first inning. Keith Lockhart up. Also a 4-5. Same result because he's also in that fourth column. He's a minus 8 batting runs. Those two guys are definitely in the lineup for their glove and not for their bat. Chipper Jones, switch hitter, third baseman. 4-6. Now he's a 45 batting runs, which puts him in the far right column. So 30 plus is going to be your sort of perennial MVP type players. 46 is going to be a strikeout, and that's going to be a strikeout swinging. So Jose Lima gets the Braves in order in the first. Now I'm working with the new score sheet here, so it's going to take me a minute to recognize where things are. So now we got Denny Nagel up. You can see Nagel here, his FIP was 406. You can't see it, I moved it. So 406 FIP, 31 starts. He was 16 and 11 in 1998. You can see his whip was a 122, low batting average on balls in play. 165 strikeouts in 210 innings. So not a high strikeout pitcher. 19% K percentage, so not a high strikeout pitcher. He'll be facing Biggio, Derek Bell, and Moises Alou to start the game. Biggio with the 42, so he's going to be from this column over here. So the pitch to Biggio is a 26, and 26 is going to be a base knock. So Biggio gets him going early with a single. Biggio is a 6.4 speed. Let's go ahead and just try to steal with him. If you look down here, it shows on the game engine chart, it shows you sort of how to do special plays. So error checks, steals, tags, extra bases, different types of bunts, what the fly out rules kind of are with the it's a little bit different. So 1 to 3 is left field, 4 to 6 is center field, 7 to 9 is right field. You gotta sort of reorient how you think about those things. Tells you what to do with strikeouts. So that last strikeout on Chipper Jones was a 3 on the roll here. So a 1 to 6 is a strikeout swinging, 7 to 9 is a K looking. So I usually determine those things and mark them out. What to do with ground outs and line outs. You know, you can't line out to the catcher, so you just consider that a pop out to the catcher instead. A couple of things like that, and how to do error checks. So we have our steal here. It says roll the D9. If the roll is higher than the player's speed value, which is here, then he is out. So anything 7, 8, or 9, and Biggio will be out. To steal third, then you subtract 1 from the speed value, and then do the roll. To steal home, you subtract 2. So if you wanted to steal home, that'd be a 1 to 4. And you make those subtractions before the roll. Okay, so we're going to try to steal with Biggio, and we're looking at this number here on the D9, and that's a 6. 6 is good, so that's going to be a stolen base for Craig Biggio. So runner at second base, and nobody out for Derek Bell. That's a 1-1 to Bell. Bell is a 25, and so that puts him in the second column here. A 1-1 is going to be a double. So he wraps it off the wall in left center, and just like that, the Astros take a 1-0 lead on the Derek Bell double. Moises Alou steps to the plate. He's got a runner in scoring position now. A 5-6 to Alou in this last column. He's a 50 batting runs, had a monster year. 158 weighted runs created plus, 7 WAR. A complete player that year. Offense and defense, just one of the best players in the league. So we have a 5-6. 5-6 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk 2. And that just means it's a hit by pitch, or if it's a 2 or greater, then it's a walk. So it's going to be a walk. And that puts runners at first and second. So a rough start for Denny Nagel. Sean Berry, he's playing third base in this game. With runners on first and second, nobody out, already a run in. Berry has a 17 batting runs, so that puts him in the third column as well. A 1-3 is going to be a ground out. And so I usually assume the out at second base, the fielder's choice. So it's going to be a 5. So we're going to go 5 to 4. And then we're also going to roll against his speed value. which shouldn't be -4. We're gonna have to, that should just be, you shouldn't be able to get less than less than that. Alright, so I'll have to check that out. So it should be a 1 at the very worst. So his speed value is a 1. If it's a roll of a 1, he's safe at first. Anything else, it's going to be a double play. 5, 4, 3. It's a 2, and so we'll go 5, 4, 3 on that double play. That's a fielder's choice at second for the first out. That's going to move the runner to third base on the fielder's choice. So it'll be a runner at third base, and that's Derek Bell. And 2 outs in the inning with Richard Hidalgo up. Hidalgo, 6.6 batting runs. That puts him in this next to last column over here on the left. A 4-5 to him is going to be a fly out to left, like the left center field gap. So we'll say F7 on that, and that's going to end the inning for the Astros. But they do get 1 run, but there was a big double play there with 2 runners on, so that was a huge help to Denny Nagel. So we move to the top of the second inning. It's going to be Andres Galarraga for the Braves. Let's move that over a little. Galarraga for the Braves also had a huge year, 46 batting runs. Again, a 156 weighted runs created plus, 44 homers, 120 RBIs. So huge year for Andres Galarraga. I think he only played 1 year with Atlanta. Sort of one of those bounce back years, I think, if I remember right. So here's Galarraga, the big cat. That's a 1-5. A 1-5 here is going to be a ground out, and that's a ground out to the shortstop. So we go 6-3 on the put out, and that's out number 1. Ryan Klesko, big lefty, outfielder for the Braves. Here's a 4-5. He's playing left field in this game. And he's in this column here, so 4-5 is going to be a single. So he reaches out and tattoos the ball to right field, and that's going to be a base knock for Ryan Klesko. Michael Tucker, who had a huge postseason, but not a great year, not even a great year in the field. 1-3. 1-3 to, he's in this column. Here's a -4.8. So I don't typically round, I round down. So -4.8 would be -4. So that's typically how I do it. You can round whichever way you want. I guess that's technically if it's negative rounding up. I'm not sure. So Michael Tucker is a -5 to 10 on a 1-3. That's going to be a ground out, and it's a ground out back to the pitcher. Again, I'm going to assume the out at second base, so that's going to be 1, we'll say 1 to 6. And we see his 4.8 speed, so we're going to go ahead and roll against that speed to see if he's safe at first or not. So 1 to 4, he's safe. Anything 5 to 9, he'll be out at first for the double play. It's a 9. So they do turn the double play, so we're going to go 1 to 6 to 3, and that's going to end the inning. So big double play there for the Astros as they erase the base runners. Jack Howell starting this game in place of Jeff Bagwell at first base. Howell played in only 24 games, didn't have a ton of games there. Maybe Bagwell was hurt, not really sure about that. But he'll be up against Denny Nagel. It's going to be a 2-4. A 2-4 to someone in this column is going to be a double play or a strikeout. With a 9, that's going to be a strikeout looking. So Nagel gets him on fastball in the outside corner for out number 1. Ricky Gutierrez, shortstop, up now. A 3-5 to Gutierrez. Gutierrez is in this last column. You can see as a -11. Definitely should be in there for his defense. It wasn't even a great defensive year for him, but a long-time shortstop for the Astros. So a -11 is going to be a 35 So that's going to be a strikeout, and Nagel gets him on a changeup. So back-to-back strikeouts for Denny Nagel. And it's the catcher, Brad Osmus, up. A 5-6 to a player here is going to be a strikeout. So he throws that curveball at him and gets him with the curveball. So 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts in a row for Denny Nagel. The pitcher will be up first in the next inning. So we go to the bottom, or the top of the third. Score is 1-0 Houston. They got an RBI double, so they went Biggio, Derek Bell, back-to-back doubles, or a single and a double in the first inning. Oh, I'm sorry, single, stolen base, and double. So that was how they went in the first inning. Going to be top of the third inning. It'll be Eddie Perez, Andrew Jones, and the pitcher spot. So 3-6 to Eddie Perez. In limited duty, you can see 60 games, but he's a 10 batting run, so that puts him here in this column. So 36 is here. It's going to be a fly out to straightaway right field. That'll be the first out of the inning. Andrew Jones, who was a youngster in this season, still at 31 bombs with 90 RBIs. I think maybe it was his first full season or second full season. Can't remember. I know he came up in the 96 World Series, 96 playoffs. Can't remember if he had his first full season in 97 or 98, but this was definitely a huge breakout year, a 7 WAR. A lot of that is on the strength of his glove, but you can see 836 OPS. Not a great hitting year for him, a little above average, but certainly a lot of power. 515 slugging. Just couldn't get on base early in his career, but if he hit it, it went really far. So 4-6, and that's going to be here. That's going to be a double play or a strikeout. Be a strikeout swinging. And that's going to be out number 2 for the inning. Brings up the pitcher spot. The way I did the pitchers in this season is I took an aggregate of all the pitchers on the team. So I actually used their batting runs, their defense, their speed to calculate. And for most of the pitching teams, teams' pitching staffs, they come in under 1, but, they should have at least a chance, to be able to make something if they need to. So batting runs of -3.4 doesn't put them in the very last column, which you would think that the pitchers would be. But as an aggregate, a lot of teams wound up in this second column from the left. So there's a 2-3 to the pitching spot. Is going to be a ground out plus. Ground out plus is an error check, and you can see that over here. So for the error check, we roll the D9. If the player's defensive value is a negative, then there's an error on a roll of 1 or 2. If the player defensive value is a positive, then there's only an error on a roll of 1, and the 1 or 2 is what we're looking at on the D9. So for a 7 on the infield, I don't know if I have that listed or not, but for the infield, yeah, I have it here. So in ground outs, a 1 to 6 is just match the position on the field. A 7 is going to be to the shortstop. So that's going to be the shortstop, and then I have 8 and 9 going to the second baseman. So this is going to be a grounder to the shortstop, so we need to do an error check on the shortstop. That's Ricky Gutierrez. Gutierrez is a negative. So let's just check to see if we need to do that anyway. So it's a ground to the shortstop. Let's just roll. If it's not a 1 or a 2, it's not even worth checking. It's a 6, not worth checking. So that's going to be a ground out to the shortstop. That'll be the third out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Braves in the third inning. And for that, there's not really a need to go ahead and check if it's not a 1 or 2, because it's not going to be an error. So if you have an error check, just go and roll. If you get anything 3 or more, then don't even go through the machinations to see if it's going to be an error. or not. Just count it as the out and move on. That'll speed things up just a little bit. We go to the bottom of the third, and it's going to be the pitcher spot up first, which is Jose Lima, and he will be followed by Biggio and Derek Bell. So there's a pitch from Nagel, a 1-3. Is going to be a ground out to the third baseman. So easy catch and throw for Chipper Jones over to first, and that gets the lineup turn back over to Craig Biggio. Biggio with a single and stolen base in his first at bat. There's a 1-4. 1-4 is going to be another single. Now we have our first modifier here. You can see this is an asterisk, and I have it listed kind of tucked over here. An asterisk is a long single. So if the player's speed value is greater than 6, then the player gets an extra base. So this is like a long single to the gap, and he's going to go for 2. So if there are runners on second and third, then those runners are both going to score automatically. So this is a long single. His speed is a 6.4, so greater than 6. So that's going to be a single with an advance. So he's going to actually wind up with a double. So not an error on the play. It's just that he gets to take an extra base if his speed is greater than 6. So that's a little bit of an addition. Sometimes there are long singles. The only other thing that I added in was, let's see if I can find it. There's a single with an error check here. So a single with a plus is going to be a single with an error check. This is something that was asked about as I was creating the original version of the game, because sometimes guys are going to make fielding errors on base hits. So doing an error check that way might provide a little bit more realism. So that's going to be an extra little wrinkle into the game. So 1 out and a runner at second base. And this is Derek Bell to the plate. This is a 5-6 from Denny Nagel. That's off this third column. A 5-6 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk. It's a 4, so that's going to be a walk. So Bell on the day with a double and a walk. That puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Nagel still a ground ball away from getting out of this. There's a 5-6 to Alou. 5-6 is a hit by pitch or a walk. Another walk, so he's losing his control a little bit. It's going to be bases loaded now with 1 out. And Sean Berry to the plate. Here's a 3-5 to Berry, and that's going to be a 17 batting run, so that's here. So a 3-5, that's going to be a strikeout, a huge strikeout for Denny Nagel, as that's the second out of the inning, gets him swinging. And now he's 1 out away from getting out of a bases loaded jam here in the third. A 1-3 to Richard Hidalgo, and a 1-3 is going to be a ground out to the shortstop, and he'll just go the short way, 6-4. And that's going to end the inning. So Nagel pitches around 2 walks and a double, and gets himself out of a bases loaded jam as we head to the top of the 4th inning. And it's going to be 1-0 still, Houston over Atlanta. Okay, we head to the top of the 4th inning. Back to the top of the order for the Braves. Ozzie Guillen was the last out. He was the last out of the last inning. So this will be Keith Lockhart, second baseman for the Braves. 4-5 to Keith Lockhart is going to be a fly out to center field. So that'll be out number 1. Chipper Jones, number 3 hole hitter. A 1-1 is going to be a double to Chipper. So Chipper laces one to the right center field gap. He cruises in for 2. And that's going to be a runner at second base for Andres Galarraga. RBI opportunity here. A 2-2 to Galarraga is going to be trouble. And that's going to be a double or a triple if it's a 7, 8, or 9. It is an 8. So Galarraga hits it down the right field line. It's misplayed by the right fielder, and he winds up at third base. That's going to be an RBI double. That'll tie the ball game at 1, or an RBI triple, I'm sorry. And runner at third base now with 1 out, 1 already in, and Ryan Klesko at the plate. Here's a 4-6 to Klesko is going to be a double play or a strikeout with a runner at third. We'll just go ahead and take the strikeout, so that's going to be a K for Klesko. He's 1 for 2 now on the day. And last chance for a run here for the Braves to get that guy in from third base is going to be Michael Tucker. Tucker hit into a 1-6-3 double play his first at bat. He's in this column here. It's going to be a 1-1, and a 1-1 is going to be a ground out. A little nubber to the catcher. Osmus jumps out, makes the play to first, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. But the Braves do get 1 and tie the ball game at 1 apiece. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's going to be the Astros. Howell, Ricky Gutierrez, and Brad Osmus up in this inning. 3-5. 3-5 will be a strikeout. It's going to be a strikeout looking. So Nagel with yet another strikeout on the day. That's going to be the first out of the inning. Nagel can go 27, so his stamina is a 27, and he's at 9. You know, he's not even at 18 batters yet, so rolling. And Lima also pitching well. Both clubs pitching well so far. So Howell with the strikeout. It's going to be out number 1. Ricky Gutierrez to the plate. A 2-2 to Gutierrez is a single or a triple if it's a 9. That's an 8, so it's going to be a single. Also, that's a little change I've made, is sort of normalizing triples. So you have sort of a percentage of a percentage to hit a triple. And as you go down, you can see there's doubles for the better hitters, a little better opportunity for triples, and then as you go down to your lower hitters, there's only a single and a triple. Brad Osmus up next. Osmus 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That's a 2-4, and 2-4 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. We got a runner at first with 1 out, so that's going to be a double play. And we're going to go again. We're going to go 1-6-3 on the double play. So a pitcher helping himself out in this game. So that'll be a fielder's choice at second, and over to first for the double play, and the Braves erasing the Astros threats every time they get on base. So 1-1 is our score, and we're going to go to the top of the 5th inning. In the Braves 5th, it's going to be Eddie Perez, Andrew Jones, and the pitcher Denny Nagel. Here's a 2-5 to Eddie Perez. It's going to be a flyout plus, so that's a flyout with an error check. Let's just go ahead and see. There's no error on the play. And that was a 1 on the flyout, so that's an F7. So Perez flies out down the line in left field. And Moises Alou comes in, makes a running catch right at the line. And that'll be out number 1 for the inning. Andrew Jones. Here's a 2-4 to Jones, and a 2-4 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. That'll be a K for Andrew Jones as he goes fishing. Comes up empty. He actually had 129 Ks in how many at-bats? In 582 at-bats, so not looking too bad these days, but back then that was a lot of strikeouts. Who's up? They are at the pitcher spot, right? So a 2-2 to Denny Nagel is going to be a double or a triple 8, and look at this. Nagel whacks one to the gap. Nobody can get there. They were playing in for the pitcher, and so he actually takes third, slides in head first, and the pitcher, the athlete, making a play. So now runner at third base, and he's huffing and puffing. Hasn't run that far in a long time. So he's huffing and puffing. He's sitting at third base, and Ozzie Guillen. So back to the top of the order for the Braves. A 3-5 in this last column is going to be a strikeout. And so that's going to be a K. And Guillen strikes out swinging for the third out of the inning. And that's going to be it for the Braves. They don't get any runs, even though they get a runner to third base. So to the Astros fifth, and pitcher's going to lead off, so it's going to be Lima. And I think we're going to, where are we at? I think we missed the pitcher on here once. So we're at 9, 18, 19. Lima can go 29. We'll just stick with him. He's pitching well, and still Denny Nagel going for the Braves as well. Pitcher spot, a 3-4. 3-4 is going to be a double. So both pitchers coming through with big hits, extra base hits. Lima reaches out and pokes one down the line and is able to scoot into second for a double. Brings up Craig Biggio. Biggio is 2 for 2 on the day. Stolen base and a run scored. He's going to get another hit here. It's going to be a single, a long single. So this means runner from second base is going to score Lima. And that's going to be an RBI double for Biggio as he hits a single, long single, and stretches it into a double. And that's going to score the run from second base. And so the Astros take a 2-1 lead on that hit by Craig Biggio. There's a 2-4. 2-4 to Derek Bell is going to be a double play or a strikeout. No double play in order, and so it's going to be a K as Bell strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. Moises Alou, left field in this game. Here's a 3-4 to Alou, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. So he hits it deep, but not deep enough. And Biggio's going to stay at second base. Here's a 3-4 to Sean Berry. Now that could be trouble. 3-4 is going to be a home run, or it's a strikeout if it's an 8 or 9. It's a 6, and Sean Berry takes Denny Nagel deep. And the game is getting out of control here. So that's going to score Biggio from second as he comes home on the home run. That's 3 runs in the inning, and we're going to go ahead and pull Denny Nagel here. Bobby Cox has seen enough. What do we got here? We are in the 5th inning. Let's go with Denny Martinez. So Dennis Martinez come into the game. We'll make that change. Martinez. Denny Nagel goes 4 2/3. So just mark that down. Pitching change here. Alright, so Dennis Martinez, after the Sean Berry home run, is going to face Richard Hidalgo. That's a 2-4. 2-4 is going to be a double play or a strikeout. Nobody's on base anymore. So that's going to be a K. And Dennis Martinez comes in and gets out number 3 via the strikeout, but the Astros' big offense comes to life, and they put 3 on the board, and they take a 4-1 lead over the Braves. In the Braves 6th inning, we got Keith Lockhart, Chipper Jones, Andres Galarraga facing Jose Lima. There's a 5-5 to Keith Lockhart. 5-5 is going to be a line out or a foul out if it's a 5 or more, that's going to be a 7, so that's going to be a foul out, and we'll just call that a foul out to the shortstop. How about that? So shortstop comes behind third base. Ozzie Guillen, I think, is a shortstop, or was it Hidalgo? Gutierrez ranges over and makes the play. So it's going to be a pop to 6 for out number 1. Also, you know, that's a little bit of an addition that there are some pop outs or foul outs. 4-5, that's going to be a Chipper Jones. That's going to be deep trouble. And Chipper Jones is going to go bombs. A 4-5 to this top tier hitter column is always a home run. And so that's going to be a solo home run as Chipper Jones, coming from the left side, hits a jack to right center field. And that's going to bring the Braves a little bit closer. Score is now 4-2. Astros over the Braves. Andres Galarraga up now. There's a 2-2, also trouble. And a 2-2 is going to be a double or a triple. If it's a 7 or more, that's going to be a double. And so Galarraga, with his second hit of the day, second consecutive hit, he tripled back in the 4th inning. So Galarraga at second now with Ryan Klesko to the plate. Klesko is 1 for 2 with a strikeout. Here's a 1-5 to Klesko. That's going to be a ground out to the second baseman, which is going to move the runner over. So that's going to be the second out of the inning, but it will have the effect of getting the runner to third base. And it's going to be Michael Tucker up with a chance for a knock. And here's a 1-4. 1-4 is going to be a hit by pitch or a walk if it's a 2. So he's going to take a walk. Things unraveling for Jose Lima. And so I'm going to roll the dice and see if we can get out of this. Eddie Perez to the plate. Perez is a 10 batting runs in 1998. It's a 2-5. 2-5 is going to be a fly out to right field, but it's a fly out with an error check. No error on the play, so it's going to be a fly out to 9, and that's going to be out number 3 as the Astros get out of the inning, having given up only 1 run, but the Braves cut the lead to 4-2. Heading into the home 6th, it's going to be the Astros sending up Jack Howell, Ricky Gutierrez, and Brad Ausmus to the plate. Howell is 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. There's a 2-6 to Howell, and a 2-6 is going to be a ground out, so he finally makes contact, but grounds out to the second baseman for out number 1. Ricky Gutierrez is a shortstop for the Astros. It's going to be a 2-5. 2-5 is going to be a fly out to right field with an error check, and that's going to be an error. It's always an error if it's a 1, so we're going to say E9 on the play, and that would be an error on Michael Tucker as he misplays it out in right field. Runner at first base with Brad Ausmus up to the plate. 3-5 for Ausmus is going to be a strikeout. So Martinez gets Brad Ausmus looking for the second out of the inning. And the Astros are going to go ahead and pinch hit for the pitcher spot. Let me find a pinch hitter for him. Alright, so Lima's out and Bill Spires is going to come in as a pinch hitter. Spires against Dennis Martinez. 1-5 is going to be a single. So he wraps a single. And that's going to push the runner to third base with 2 outs. So runners at the corners now. And the Astros still moving it down the line. Here's Biggio. A 1-2 to Biggio is going to be a ground out to the second baseman. So Martinez induces the inning-ending ground out, and that keeps the score at 4-2. So that's going to be the end of... at the end of 6, it's going to be the Braves down 4-2 to the Astros. Astros, the home team here. I'm going to cut the video off there, but hopefully you can get a good sense of some of the new additions in the game engine and basically just how to play on this left side. You know, if you don't even want to bother with some of the with the pitching. But if you did want to play the pitching, you would use the FIP, and then you would read off the pitcher side first, and then go. If there's a blank, you would go to the hitter side. And excuse me, and that's how the pitching will work. If I'll put the link to the on base dice roller in the description, and I'll also put a link to where you can buy on base. We have a 1970s set. We have a 2019 full season set. I'm working on 1998 right now, so these cards that you're seeing now are a new season set that I'm working on. Hopefully, the next few weeks that'll be finished and ready for purchase. And then we also have a 1960 World Series, so you can play the Yankees against the Pirates. Those older cards are a little bit different because they have the results right on the cards themselves, so you can check those out. You don't need the chart to play with those teams. But moving to the chart-based teams and cards again, because it's just easier. It's easier to get more sets out at a better rate. It just takes a long time because that's the bulk of the card creation process, is to put all of those results directly on the cards. As nice as that is, it doesn't really take anything away when you have to use the cards with the charts. So, but it does add a lot to the time that it takes to make a whole season set, or even those World Series sets. So, but those are really cool. You can check them out. People really enjoyed the 70s, 1970s World Series set. So it's the World Series matchups for every World Series from 1970 to 79. So you get 20 teams, and it's a really cool set. You can mix and match them, or just play the series out by themselves, either one. What else is there new? Not much else new. There's a few new sort of modifiers on here, and the new cards will definitely be they'll look and feel, a little bit different. You can see them as we go along the picture card here. So I think once you get used to sort of where to look, it'll be easier to see, to be able to see the players. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions, please put them in the comment section below. This game has always been for everybody. So if you see something glaring that will make the game better, please just put it out there. I want the game to be quick. I want the game to feel like sort of an old school pre-ATBA, pre-strat dice rolling game. That was sort of where the whole thing started, is looking at historical sort of dice games before there was any formalized market or cards or anything like that. And one of the cool things about this chart comes with every single version of On Base that you can buy. And one of the awesome things about this is you can use this literally with any teams, any players in history. So FIP is given, and batting runs are given. The speed rating, stamina, like all these things are given for any player in history. And you can find all those you can find them at fangraphs.com. They're called different things at Baseball Reference, but essentially they have the same ratings at Baseball Reference, or even at Baseball Prospectus has their own. And I have a video about that too, that maybe I'll link to it somewhere in here, that shows you how to go and get those ratings, those values at different places on the web. The easiest one is Fangraphs, because that's what I use in order to card all the players and to get the data. The data for their values and for the stats. So that's the easiest place to go to. If you have some objection to Fangraphs or some love for something else, you can always go to a different place and just literally rate your own teams and play them. So this is meant to be an engine that you can use to play anything. You can play your beer league, softball league players if you want to rate them. Your little league, whatever you want to do. So it's kind of a cool open source type concept that's very different in the game, and maybe some people don't get it. I don't know, but it makes for a fun game, and you can do some pretty wild things out there, I think. If you have any questions or comments, just please leave them in the comment section. I'll get to them pretty quickly, within a day or two. And thanks for checking this out. Thanks for checking out the game. Everybody who's bought the game so far and supported it over this first year. It's been really more than I expected, honestly. So that's been really cool. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me to know that this is content that you want to see, and give, at the very least, just give the video a thumbs up, and that'll be super helpful to be recognized in the YouTube algorithm as good content that people actually want to see or that they like. So that's very helpful. All right, I think I've taken up quite a bit of time here. That was 6 innings of the Braves at the Astros, 1998. I don't have enough time to finish out the game. I gotta go, but hopefully that gives you a good sense of the new cards and what's going on with them. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.